An outburst can cause you to come out of your own character. Outbursts, meltdowns, anything, and you're trying to manage it as an autism mom. It can make you come out your character. Hey, how y'all doing? I hope good. So, I found that viral video y'all was talking about in my live stream. And I know I said I wasn't going to talk about it, but yet here I am. But let's just get something straight. I am not here to bash nobody family, the way they do nothing. I'm not here to judge, place judgment on anybody. So please don't do that in my comments. It will be removed. Now that we got that out of the way, there have been times where my son has had outbursts. Now, he's never been known to be a very hands-on guy or a confrontational guy. He's never been known to be that. But he does have outbursts from time to time. Now they're a lot less than they used to be back in the day. But there was a time where he had several a day. And I keep saying outbursts because in reference to the video, trying to relate to it, it didn't appear to me to be a meltdown. It appeared to be an outburst, and it's different. The outburst is different. Okay? Meltdown is usually because you're overwhelmed with oversensitized, whatever the case may be. Outburst is, let's compare it to if my son were 5 years old. If my son were 5 years old, I would call it a tantrum. But because he's not 5 years old, we're calling it an outburst. Sometimes accepting no, or even just the fact that your schedule is changing and there's nothing you can do about it, sometimes that creates one of these outbursts. So what do they look like? When my son has an outburst, he transforms into the Incredible Hulk. That's what I like to say. Years ago, when he was younger, he used to break things. He used to put holes in the wall, slam the door so hard it would crack, things like that. He would slam his tablet on the table, or whatever would be in his hand at the moment. He would slam it down on the table. He would scream. He would pace aggressively. That's what his outbursts look like. Now, I know y'all heard me say that he has a less outburst than he used to. How, Shay? How, Shay? I'm going to tell you how, okay? I did a lot of things. I tried a lot of things because I'm going to be completely honest with y'all. Back then, and even sometimes still now, I don't know what I'm doing, okay? There's no manual for raising an autistic child. There's no manual. So I just be trying stuff. If it work, I continue to do it. If it doesn't work, I don't do it again, and I try something different. I made a list of some of the things that I tried that I noticed made the outburst worse. Okay. Number one, the first thing that I did, or that I noticed that I did during the outburst that made it worse, was I would also have an outburst. I would also have an outburst. I would match his energy. Okay. You screaming, we both screaming. Okay. That's one thing I did that I noticed made it worse over the years. And honestly, that's just a reaction to the outburst. It's it's very common that when an autistic child has an outburst or a meltdown or something, that you match their energy, maybe not even on purpose. So yeah, I noticed that I did that and that it made it worse. Even sometimes my daughter couldn't help but to also, she get active too for no reason. Now all three of us screaming, okay? It happens. But it was making it worse. So that's one thing that I stopped doing. What do I do now when an outburst happens? Well, first, I remain calm. I keep my voice nice and even like this. Okay, I don't go up too much. I don't go too low. Keep it right like this. And if I have to talk to him, and I'm going to get to that later, if I have to talk to him, then I just talk to him like this. I say the facts of the situation, and that's it. I try not to scream as well. I try not to raise my voice. I try not to have high energy. The second thing that I noticed that I did that did not work, I kept repeating myself. I kept repeating my no, okay? Because half the time when an outburst happens, it's because he cannot accept no from me, okay? My schedule is off. My routine is off. This is happening instead of this, what's supposed to be happening. I want this to happen. Now, I, as his guardian, have to say, no, this cannot happen because now this has to happen. Okay? Or, no, you cannot have this. You can have this instead. Okay? But what I was doing back in the day is I was just repeating myself. No, no. Every time he would come back and ask, I would just keep repeating my no, keep repeating my reason. And it's because I assumed that he didn't understand because he kept coming back to me. Or he was trying to change my mind. And I want to let him know my mind wasn't changed. Okay? That escalated outbursts more. And this is just my experience. This for me. It's what I noticed over the years when I look back at what I did then and what I'm doing now. Back in the day, repeating myself was not it. It was making things worse. So now what do? If I have already said what I said and he comes back and he asks again or he say whatever he want to say again, either I just look at him or I ignore him or I leave the room. And when I don't repeat myself continuously, he eventually has to process on his own what is going on. Now, my son is 19. So he's gotten pretty good at processing things after the fact. So I feel that I just have to leave it alone so he can go ahead and process. And that's just my experience, okay? Repeating myself, it wasn't working. It was increasing the outbursts. It was making it worse, okay? Number 3, okay? I was invalidating his experience and his feelings. I didn't know I was, though. My lack of validating him, to me, it felt like I was invalidating, if that makes any sense. Okay? I wasn't acknowledging his feelings. Okay? Outburst started because he was trying to express to me that he's angry or he's upset or he's just not happy with the situation. Okay? He's trying to explain that to me in the best way that he knows how. And I wasn't validating that. So what do I do now? To validate his feelings and his experience. Okay. I still don't repeat myself. What I do say is, I'm sorry that you're upset. I'm sorry that you're mad because of this. I understand that you're mad because of this. There's nothing wrong with being mad. That's pretty much what I want him to do. No, there's nothing wrong with being mad. But then I set my boundaries. Okay. I understand that you're mad. But with you over there doing whatever it is that you're doing, I don't like that. So I'm not going to be involved with it anymore. I no longer want to talk to you about this, or this. I no longer want to talk about it because what you over there doing that, I don't like it. But I know that you're mad. And that's how it goes. I find that talking the situation out with him helps. And then sometimes none of that stuff works, okay? Not even going, listen, like the kids say, I'm not going to cap with you. Is that what the kids say? I feel like the kids be saying that. Kids, do y'all say that? I'm not going to cap with y'all, okay? I'm not going to lie to y'all. Sometimes none of that stuff works. In the past, when that happened and just everything I tried just didn't work, I would just keep trying other stuff. I would just keep trying to calm him down, doing everything I can, talking to him, etc. I would just keep trying. Now, when it seems like nothing I'm doing is working, I just for a lack of a better term, I just stopped trying. I stopped. Okay. This OG yesterday, this old man, an unc in the family, you know what he said to me? He said, sometimes doing nothing is the best decision that you can make. Okay. And in reference to my air conditioner, I asked him to come and look at it. And he said, well, how long has it been broken? I said, well, sir, it's been a month. I just been trying to figure out what to do. And he said, you know what? You smart. Because sometimes doing nothing when you don't know what to do is the best thing you could do. Apply that to this situation. That's what I do. I apply it. When I try everything and nothing working, I just stop trying. I'm sorry. Is that bad? I don't know. But again, it allows for my son to just go ahead and process it on his own. I stop interacting. Okay. I leave the room even, go to my room, or I tell him to go ahead and handle it in his room. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I know he is safe in his room. He's safe in there, and all the stuff in there is his. So if he so happened to want to go and break something in there, I don't even care. I don't even care. So that's usually what happens. He either goes to his room, or I leave the room. Wherever we are. If we in the kitchen, I go to my room, close my door. Now there are times where I do that and he follows me. I lock my door. Okay? I lock my door. And this is just my non-verbal way of telling him that I'm done with the conversation. I'm all done with it. I said what I said, it's over. I said what I said, and it's over. Now you got to go ahead and think about what's going on your own. I'm no longer here to help you with that. And sometimes doing nothing is the best thing you could do. Now, I'm not telling y'all with these younger kids to go and lock yourself in the room. I'm not telling y'all to do that. Okay. My son is very mature. My son is mature. And I know that if I leave him alone, if I am upstairs in my room and he's maybe in his room, or he's downstairs in his sensory room or in the kitchen, I know that he's safe. Okay. Because I know my son, I know his mannerisms, I know how he acts. He might, he might bang on the table. He might slam his tablet while I'm going. But there's nobody down there for him to potentially get involved with, or potentially have a confrontation with. There's nobody down there for that. He's not going to hurt himself. That's just not who he is. And he's safe. He's in a safe space. For me, that's what's important. And I know my son is safe. If I come up to my room, I know my son is safe. So I'm not telling y'all these little kids. Sometimes these little kids, you got to watch them a lot closer. You got to watch them a lot closer. But if your kids like Stacy and they're mature enough to be left on their own for a little bit so they can handle their emotions, why not? Why not? Why you have to be involved? Why you have to be in there holding their hand with the outbursts? You don't. I don't think you have to be. I don't think so. And I'm only saying that because this is my experience. This is my experience. I thought that I had to go in and handle every meltdown, every outburst, every whatever going on with my son. It was my responsibility to calm him down and help him and whatever. I thought so. And maybe that were true back in the day, but now I don't think it is. And there's actually proof. Okay. There have been times where something happened, routine thrown off. I had to be the enforcer. I had to be the villain and be like, this is what it is. He could not accept it. Had an outburst or a meltdown, whatever. And I simply do not jump in. I don't jump in and interfere. And for the most part, he calms himself down. He has his moment wherever he want to have his moment. But it ain't in my vicinity. It's not in my vicinity. Because you know why? I like my peace. I like my peace, okay? I like my peace. That is the real reason why I stopped interfering. That's the real reason. Let's just be honest, Shay. Let's be honest. That's the real reason why I stopped interfering. Because I like my peace. Okay? Every time I interfered, I would go in my room and have a meltdown after. Panic attack, even. Whatever y'all want to call it. Whatever y'all want to call it. You ain't never been taking care of your child, trying to help them with their meltdown or their outburst. And then after it's done, you just go in your room and I like my peace. I like my peace. So I stopped doing that. I stopped interfering every time. I talk to him if I can and try to work it out with communication, verbal communication. Sometimes I give him nonverbal communication, maybe a look or very much something, but that's the minimum. That's the minimum that I do. Okay, now this obviously doesn't apply to any moms that have to hold their child down because of self-harm or anything like that. Obviously doesn't apply. I'm just giving you guys my experience. That's all I can give y'all. That's all I can give y'all. Is really the reason why I didn't want to talk about this video, because like I said earlier, Stacy has never been, I've never seen any behavior like that from him. And I've asked other people in my circle and they say the same thing. They've never seen it. Even when Stacy was younger, my daughter used to beat him up all the time. I'm sorry. When they were 5 and 6 years old, she was always like jumping on his back, just like sneak attack. He never fought back. Okay. She wasn't hurting him, obviously, because he was a big guy. She was a small, she was tiny. But it's just not in his character, is what I'm saying. This is not in his character. He don't like confrontation. Okay. He barely like people touching him. He don't want to touch other people. So that's really why I didn't want to talk about this. Because I was trying to relate to it, and that's just, I couldn't. But I related to it, and like, I know about outbursts. I know about them. Okay, my son has done them. I've seen them. I think I'm managing them. I think I'm managing them appropriate. So that's why I felt safe to talk about it with you guys. Like I said, don't be going and saying nothing bad about this parents. And if you want more information, just go ahead and search. Okay, because I don't think anybody should be speaking on it like they live with them. I guess judging from a video online. Now, granted, she did put the video. She's put in the video for her own free will, but I'm not going to judge. Okay. I don't care what other people do on their pages. On this page, I'm not going to do that. And I hope that nobody get in my comments doing that either. It will be removed. So I hope this helps somebody. If you see your child doing these outbursts and you're able, listen, another smart person once told me, like, when you have a decision to make, an important decision to make, ain't nothing wrong with stopping first before you make a decision. I know outbursts may seem like you need to react right away, but you don't. You don't. Stop, think, and then do. Stop, think, and then do, okay? Apply that to everything in your life, but specifically to this today. Okay, stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing. Whatever you're doing, stop it. Think about what you're going to do. Think about what you're going to do next, and then do it. Stop, think, do, and you won't be thinking just out of response to what's happening. An outburst can really cause you to come out your own character, actually. It really can. Let me say that again for the people in the back. An outburst can cause you to come out of your own character. Outbursts, meltdowns, anything, and you're trying to manage it as an autism mom. It can make you come out your character. But then you lose your peace. So, I'm keeping my character. I'm keeping my peace. Putting it in a box. Locking it. Protecting it. Okay? Bubble wrapped even. Okay? You should be protecting your peace too. Bye.